Hey yogis, it's Brittany here at Yoga Nurture. What I'm doing today is a lower back sequence if you're feeling a little bit of tightness in your lower back. Now, mind you, this is not the type of sequence that would be for someone who has serious back problems, such as rods in the spine or herniated discs. You would definitely want to check with your medical professional about that before you embark on this sequence. But that being said, I know that right now is gardening season, lots of people outside all the time and down on their hands and knees. Everything's starting to get tight in the lower back. And generally, I hear that complaint all the time. So I wanted to give you this video. So I'll give you a few moves that are good to do when you have lower back tightness. You might want to hold the poses for about 5 breaths or more, depending on really how you feel that day. So I'll show those to you. I'm at the beautiful Karma Yoga Studio in London, Ontario. So I'll be over there in just a second. So start off in an easy seated position, which is a cross-legged position. If you're particularly tight, your knees might come up a little, that's okay. Roll the shoulders back and down, and start to find your breath, a deep breath that you pull all the way into your belly. Expand the belly as you inhale, and even a little contraction of the belly as you exhale. Sit up straight and tall. Pretend like there's something coming down from the top of the ceiling, and it's pulling you up tall. Elongate the spine, lift up. Maybe close your eyes. And take 5 deep breaths here, just to settle your mind and get you in the mode of healing instead of, oh, I'm going to stretch and do this and that. So the first pose that you should do is take your fingertips in front of you, shoulders back and down, and start to fold over your legs. Remember to pull those healing breaths all the way into the belly. And anything that's starting to feel a little bit tight, think about that spot as you breathe. And when you inhale, the pressure's going to rise just a little bit. And as you exhale, you're going to feel the tension releasing. Now make sure when you're folding forward over your legs that you're not folding from the head. See my rounded back? This is only going to serve to tighten the back more and will put stress on it. So make sure that it's not folding forward from the head. Make sure that you're folding forward from the heart, keeping your spine elongated. Of course, there's going to be a little natural bend, but make sure that you're not trying to get far down like this. So take several more breaths right here, however much is comfortable. And then inhale yourself back up to a seated position. Extend the right leg out in front of you. Tuck the left leg in the upper thigh. Sit up straight and tall and flex the toes towards the face. Now, if you are particularly tight, you might take a blanket and sit on a blanket. It lifts you up a little and takes the intensity out of the pose. So this right here might be a stretch for you. That's okay. Stay right here and breathe. Otherwise, you can start to, remember, offer the heart forward, not the head. Every exhale will allow your body to move down just a little bit more. Now make sure you remember, muscles cannot be forced into stretching. They have to be coaxed. So that's why we breathe very gently. Take a couple more breaths right here. Still pulling it into the belly. And then inhale yourself back up to center and switch sides. Making sure that your weight is evenly distributed in your sit bones. Sit up straight and tall and bring the fingertips down. Now remember, flex the toes towards the face. If you don't go very far in this pose, that's okay. Remember to take 5 deep breaths here. Every exhale allows you to stretch a little bit further down. You'll feel an intense stretch in your hamstrings. The hamstrings being tight is one of the major reasons why we have lower back pain. Once you've completed as many breaths as you would like, inhale yourself back up to center. Take the balls of the feet together. The knees flare out. Once again, if you're not very flexible, your knees may be up here. That's okay. Take a hold of your feet. Lift up straight and tall, and start to fold to the insides of those legs. Pulling on the feet, allowing your body to fold forward. Remember, not from the head, from the heart. If you would like, you can take your elbows and press them into the knees. If you're super flexible today and you're wanting just a little more openness, think about those tight spots as you're breathing. Take 2 more breaths here, sinking a little deeper each time. And then inhale yourself very gently up into a seated position and make your way onto your hands and knees. So I'll show you sideways. The pose that I'm about to do is for neutralizing the spine. It's a wonderful spinal alignment posture. Make sure your wrists are shoulder width apart and directly underneath the shoulders. Knees directly underneath the hips. On your next inhale, drop your belly towards the ground, lift your hips and face to the sky. Exhale, press the belly into the spine as you round. Tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. Inhale, drop the belly, lift face and hips to the sky. Exhale, rounding out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round it out. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press the belly to the spine and round it out. Bring the spine back to neutral. Now make sure that when you are in neutral spine, you don't let the belly drop. Don't cave in. This is very bad on the lower back. You want to think about pressing that belly towards the spine, tucking the tailbone under just a little. Now remember, we're not like this, but that nice neutral spine, you'll find it. Maybe look in a mirror. On your next inhale, take your right arm out in front of you and left leg behind you. Your option to make this pose easier is to place your back toes down on the ground. Otherwise, you want to keep that lifted, but make sure you don't lift so high. See my hips start to lift? You don't want that. You want to keep the hips neutral. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Keeping the gaze very steady. Exhale, return to the original position. On your next inhale, lift your left arm and right leg. Remember, your option is to place the toes down on the ground. So, lifting up. We don't want to lift the hip. Keep it neutral. 2 more breaths. And then bring it back down to center. Settle your hips back and down onto your heels. Extend your arms out in front of you and let your forehead rest on the ground. This pose is called child's pose. If you want a little bit more release and that's still feeling too tight, spread the knees wide as you settle into child's. So stay in child's as long as you would like, and when you're ready, let's roll over onto our back. Get nice and comfortable and pull the knees towards the chest, rocking back and forth on the lower back. On your next exhale, bring your arms out into a T and let your knees drop over to the right side. You can let your gaze fall towards the left side to complete the twist. And remember to breathe here. Remember, nice deep breaths. Hold it for 3 or 4 or 5 more breaths, however many breaths you feel that you would like to stay here. And then inhale, your knees back up to center. Give your knees a hug. And then arms out in a T. Let your knees fall over to the left side. This time your gaze can fall towards the right. Remember that you want to take deep breaths here. Stay here as long as you'd like, and when you're ready, bring your knees back to center. Give them another hug. And then very, very gently roll over to one side. Press yourself up into a seated position, no fast movements. Sit cross-legged at the top of your mat. Find your good posture again. And take a few deep breaths. And take a second to notice how different your back may feel. I hope that this helped. Have a great day. Bye!